Hi, I'm Chef Mitchell, and today we're going to show you how to butterfly a salmon fillet and then turn that butterfly into a salmon roulade portion using MOWI Signature salmon. For those of you who may not know, MOWI is a Norwegian salmon producer that's been a leader in the seafood industry for over 60 years. What I like about this salmon is its incredible freshness. The texture is outstanding, the marbling is beautiful, and it meets the highest global certifications for quality and sustainability. MOWI farm raises premium Atlantic salmon in the pristine waters of Norway and Scotland, two countries renowned for their commitment to excellence in aquaculture. When we choose MOWI salmon, we can be confident our guests will come back for more. So let's butterfly this fillet. We're not going to do the whole thing, probably just a third of it or so. And this is an interesting method to make a beautiful round portion of salmon, a very even height. So we're going to trim the end over here, and we'll use these trim pieces for another preparation later on in another segment. And I think like this should be about good. Make about 3 or 4 of these. And I'll set this one aside and just work with this smaller piece. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to see how thin this is here, right? And we're going to cut this and butterfly this open, like that, right? And then I'll keep on going and get a nice long piece. We'll roll that up, throw in some skewers, and then cut steaks from it. So here we go. What's important is you want the board close to the edge of your table. You want to be able to drop your hand down below the edge of the table. Very important. If your hand is here, you won't be able to have it level and you'll have an uneven cut. So we lay our knife right here on this thickness. You're looking for the height of the knife off of the board here at these 2 points, and the height of the knife off the back. And you want to keep that level at all times. You want to make sure your knife doesn't angle like this and it doesn't go down or up. Very important. And that's how you get a nice even cut. And the cut is also a slicing motion. Don't try to push through the fish, you'll tear it apart. Knife needs to be sharp, and we just move it like this. Nice even strokes. And I'm also stabilizing with my finger here, being careful, and of course not to put it in the way of the knife. And we're going to slice almost all the way over to the end. And again, I'm paying attention to those distances off of the board. And we'll leave it attached at the very end. Almost there. You can see we go almost to the end of the fish. And I think that's pretty good right there. We can always adjust it after we open it. Then we butterfly it open, like butterfly wings. Like this. Okay, I'm going to make a little more of an incision here to get that to lay flatter. Be very careful. You know, if you break through, it's okay. But you want to keep it relatively flat there. There we are. Now again, this is thicker over here. So we'll continue on with the same action. And you don't want to cut right at the last cut you made. You want to be a little bit over from that. And we'll make one more cut like that. And that should do it. I think we're going to be okay after that. And again, very gently when you change direction, you don't want to tear the fiber of the fish. We'll get a little skinnier on the end over here. That'll be okay. And probably about there. I'll pull the knife out very carefully. I'm going to trim off just a little bit past here because we do have a place where we're not able to cut. And I'll save those scraps as well. And we butterfly that piece out. Now that we have this butterfly, I'm going to turn this over and have the part that has the skin side up. Now I'll start rolling this up. Keep it fairly tight. You want to make sure it's even. Try to keep it as straight as you can. It'll be a little bit uneven. You can always trim it up and make it look better. And by putting the skin on the inside, it makes a much nicer look on the outside of the roulade. And if you want a larger round, you can actually put a second piece. If you put a second piece on, you take another butterfly piece that started in here and have a little bit of an overlap, and then carry on from there to make a larger roulade. There we are. And you see I have it all nice and tight in here, not a lot of gaps, not a lot of space. Now we'll put some skewers through this. I want to make sure here's the end of the flap right here. And I'll put this through, let's see, 1, 2, 3, we'll trim that end off. So I'll put one here, one over here in the center, and one over here. Now I like keeping things clean and natural. There are some chefs who might put a sort of a natural chemical that goes in between these slices called transglutaminase, also known as Activa A, which will glue these pieces together and really hold it together well. But you can do it without it. And then we'll lay this down. And just to make sure that we have it nice and solid, I'm going to run one more set of skewers in here. Make sure it all holds together, won't fall apart during cooking. And then we'll trim off the very end here, get it nice and straight. And what's very important is you're not pushing down with the knife. The knife must be sharp, and you're allowing the weight of the knife to cut, almost as if you're using 2 fingers on your knife to slice this. And that'll straighten that end out very nicely. And again, don't smash it, just let it slice through. Very important. There we are. And I'll cut the other end as well. Same idea, very gently. And you notice I'm using the whole knife when I'm slicing, from base to tip, and allowing that sharp edge to do the work rather than trying to force through this piece. Just like this. And there we are. The smaller one here is about a 3-ounce portion, and these other larger ones are about a 4-ounce portion. So there's a good first course starters portion over here. And I'll just take some little snips and cut these a little shorter. And there we are. So that's the roulade made from the butterfly salmon. Thank you for watching this demo sponsored by MOWI Signature. Please stay tuned for my next clip, and please subscribe to the MOWI Food Service channel. Thanks for watching.